Whoever says depression isn't real is a straight up liar. What's up guys, it's Shauna aka Mrs. Wealthy Wallet coming to you for another week. Whoever said depression wasn't real is a liar. Bald-faced liar. I have had the roughest almost 2 weeks ever. Like, I even recorded last week, guys. What is up guys? I don't want to do this and could not get the energy to post. So I'm very sorry for dropping y'all off and leaving y'all, but let's get back into the money series. So I ran my numbers, and just to get to the point where I feel financially independent just in the savings account alone is going to take me, at my current rate, 25.58 years. Now, if I increase my savings by another like $200-300, it'll take me 17.5 years. Now I have ways of accelerating getting to that number because of the fact that I do save in other vehicles. I don't just use my savings account. I have an outside investment account that is just a regular investment account. I can also save into my Roth IRA provided that my husband and I don't exceed the yearly limits. So it is not hopeless. We do have the opportunity to reach that number. So once we get the student loan paid off, we increase the 401k amount, then I can go whole hog on the other vehicles. The reason why I say my Roth IRA is an option is because you can draw your initial investment with no penalties before 59.5, I believe. So that is always an option for me, guys, because I can draw my initial investment. So we can add that number in and we can add up the, let's see, we got the Roth, we got the investment account, plus we have the savings account. So that will more than accelerate our path to financial independence, the number in which I would feel most comfortable if it hit the fan. So what did you all do? Did you figure out your numbers? What's your goal? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to achieve savings? Do you want to plan for a trip? What is your overall goal? Alright, so this week, let's focus on the budget. I know it's the dreaded B word. You can call it your spending plan. You can call it get out of Dodge plan. Whatever you want to call it, guys. No matter what you call it, it is what it is. It's a budget. Spending money on purpose. Now, this week's assignment is figuring out what type of budget you want to rock with. Now, there are options out there for zero-based budgets. There are options out there for percentage budgets. Now, there's a 50-30-20 plan. There is an 80-20 plan where you use 80% of your money towards all of your expenditures and then 20% towards your savings and or debt, whichever one you have. I use a zero-based budget. I use an application called YNAB, which is called You Need a Budget. This is not me telling you to get this because that application actually costs you money. I have to pay every year a renewal fee for it. There are things like Every Dollar that Dave Ramsey has. There are applications like YNAB gives you a 34-day free trial to see if you would actually like it before you buy it. And I'm pretty sure there are plenty other ones out there. You can use Excel docs, whatever you need. Don't just use YNAB just because I use it, truthfully. But I use a zero-based budget via YNAB where every time I get paid, I have to put money into each category until I get to zero. Now, when doing a budget, remember to cover your needs first. Before anything else, make sure you take care of your needs. Now, make sure you're taking care of your housing, your food. Make sure you're taking care of your transportation. And you can have a little clothing in there. And that's clothing as far as professional attire that you need for work. Not everything is a need when it comes to that. Most of that stuff is a want. So take that very lightly. But make sure you always have a roof over your head, your utilities are paid for, whatever you use in whatever part of the country, you know. In the north, you all have oil that you pay for the winter. Down here, we do natural gas, you know. So make sure that you're paying for your water, your lights, your gas, whatever that requirement is. Then we move on to food. Make sure that you are eating, period. Okay, guys? Make sure you're eating. Try to make sure it's healthy. It does not have to be organic to be healthy. There are items out there. If you go and look up the Dirty Dozen, it tells you which foods have the most pesticides on it versus which do not. You can eat from there. Make sure you're eating enough greens, guys. I'm sorry, I'm going to the health side of me, so let me bring it back. Make sure that you're covering your food. You gotta eat, so you gotta be healthy, guys. You gotta take care of your health, roof over your head. Once those two are taken care of, we go to transportation. If you are riding a bike, make sure you keep your bike maintained. If you are riding public transportation, make sure you budget in there for public transportation. If you are driving a car, make sure you budget for gas. Make sure you budget for maintenance. And make sure you budget for future maintenance. Now, if you know that your car has 50,000 miles before your tires are going to be needing to be replaced, and you are at 40,000 miles, you need to start saving for it. So make sure you start putting money aside so that you have the money when you're ready for it. If you know that your car needs to be maintenance, make sure you have some money put aside for that. Once you cover those basics, then you can move on to things like savings and paying bills. Before you even cover savings and paying bills, make sure you go through all your bills that you have, whether it be your cable, your internet, your streaming services, all of that. List those all out. List how much you owe for those. For your credit cards, list all your minimum payments on your credit cards. And for your loans, make sure you list all your minimum payments on your loans. And then look at what you have left. Whatever you have left at the bottom, that's what you have to work with. Now, if you start looking at that and it's a negative number, go back and look at those streaming services. Go back and look at that cable. Go back and look at that phone plan. Because it might be time for you to call the phone company because they may have a better plan right now. Or it might be time for you to call the cable company and say, hey, I'm thinking about canceling y'all. What are y'all going to do to keep me? Reduce as much as you can. Most people say turn off the cable. If cable brings you joy, as Marie Kondo says, then it serves no purpose for you cutting it off. But if you could care less like I do, I don't even watch cable. I'm not even gonna lie. Shut it off. Be done with it. Just shut it off. There's plenty of streaming services out there that you can get, that you can watch your favorite shows on and not have to pay for an entire cable package. So just make sure you're looking at those discretionary, I love how they say discretionary expenses. Discretionary, like you just have money, just throw away. Discretionary. Make sure you look at those discretionary expenses and make sure that you are 100% in line in what you have and what you love. Because we will subscribe to stuff and forget about it and just become lazy about it. So your thing is not to be lazy. Be vigilant. Make sure you're cutting stuff that you don't need in your life so that you have an extra bit of money at the bottom. So when you get to the bottom, and you have that extra bit of money, you start allocating that money towards things that you need to allocate it towards. Like I said, with the car maintenance and things like that, that's where this money is going to start coming in. That's where you're going to start allocating that money towards that maintenance. That's where you're going to start allocating that money towards future tires and things like that. Things you know you're going to need in the future. When it comes to paying your bills, that's where you're going to get the extra money to pay your bills. That's where you're going to look, is going to be there, and you're going to look at the bill that you don't like the most. The one that you absolutely hate. You all know what that is for me. But when you're looking at that and you find the bill that you hate the most, you go whole hog on it. Whether it's a medical bill, student loan, whether it's a credit card bill, go whole hog on that bill. Make sure to save money for a rainy day as well. I know I'm giving you a lot of stuff to save for. I know. But a rainy day is always going to come. I can guarantee you it's going to come. So make sure your emergency fund is at least $500 to $1,000 just in case anything blows up, because most minor emergencies can cost up to $1,000. So with those, I know I've given you a lot. I need you all to go out and either one, do your budget, or two, look at your budget and figure out where you can cut some excess fat. Next week, we're going to come back and we'll talk again. So we'll see where you are by then. Hopefully your budgets are up and running and you got yourself a nice debt payoff amount and or savings amount that you are able to put into play. Until next time, guys, remember that the best type of wallet to have is always going to be a wealthy one. Peace.